Did he? Did he?
Baltimore
Because he had an
won.
8 game. He had an 8 game losing streak. I'm trying to say. I'm going to say they didn't. Remember? Because last year, Cincinnati won under Zach Taylor. It was their first playoff win since the '90s.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And
I'll
so
take you.
now it seemed like Marvin Lewis was there since the '90s. He wasn't, but he was there for a long time, and they kept getting there. They kept getting there. They kept getting there. I was rooting for him. Marvin Lewis. I like to see a brother do well.
Always got to
Uh,
root for the brother, man. Always got to root for the brother.
hey, and just it didn't do it. But yeah, Marvin Lewis. I love Kay's reaction too. When he said Marvin Lewis, she went,
Oh,
she went,
it should have been like that dog
wow.
meme that was like, all right, like that's what it like. That is some good shiny, Crisco hate. That is some
Yeah.
Jermaine Jackson on CNN, drippy,
Ooh.
greasy hate.
Ooh.
Look,
Ooh.
you can say what you want about Bill Belichick not having Tom Brady. We want to go into the whole Tom Brady being the greatest quarterback or whatever. But can you name
Yeah,
the
he's a
quarterbacks that Bill Belichick actually had that wasn't Tom Brady? Like if you place him, if you give him a top 10 quarterback, if you gave him a top 10 quarterback now, you gave him Joe Burrow, you gave him Justin Herbert, you gave him the back end of Aaron Rodgers, you gave him some level of reasonable quarterback. You don't think the New England Patriots would actually be atop the AFC East, with all due respect to the Miami Dolphins and Tua and Jarvis, and I'm say Jarvis, and the two speedsters that they got over there?
Yep.
Like, you gotta aim lower. That's all I would say for LeSean McCoy. Just
Right.
aim a little
Okay.
bit lower. Don't throw rocks
Right.
at that throne.
Okay. Tell me, because we've had two examples. I'd say this year. What a year this has been. And Gary Carter, we do the year in sports. And I think this happened in 2022. We got to include LeSean McCoy. This is November. So we'll have LeSean McCoy hating on Bill Belichick in November. And Vinny, one of your favorite topics, at the beginning of the year, way back at the beginning of the year, we got to have Scottie Pippen hating on Michael Jordan. Okay,
Mm.
why?
Why would you
Why
say
do
that on today,
people?
like today with all the tabloids? Why
I
would you
know,
say Scottie Pippen's name? You are so
I know,
messy. You
I
are
know. Okay,
so messy.
but but I want to know. I want to know, Vincent. Like, why do we do this? Why do some people? I shouldn't say we. Why do certain people do this? Where it's almost like, and we have extremes too, because I know what it's like when you're watching a great player and everybody says they're great, and you just get tired. Okay, they got great commercials and they're always there at the number one spot at the podium, and everything works out well for them. There's a part of human nature that wants to knock them down. Like, I ain't that good. Oh, okay. Well, if it hadn't been for that one thing or that one thing, they wouldn't have won it. So there's that extreme of the hater. But then there are people who celebrate them all the time, which kind of activates the hater. The more celebration and more adulation they hear, the angrier they get. And they try to come up with excuses. I'm just wondering why this happens. Can I just tell LeSean McCoy, hey, LeSean, if you have the number one player, the number one quarterback in the history of football, and you take that player away, things change. No, I usually don't cuss on the show. No shit. I mean, like, come on. Hey, you mean to tell me Bill Belichick wouldn't be the same without Tom Brady? I
Look,
think
here's
he
my no.
knows that.
Here's my thing.
I think he
Here's my
knows
thing.
that.
You replaced Tom Brady for all those years with a Peyton Manning, with a Aaron Rodgers, with someone of reasonable talent and decision making. You're probably winning 7 Super Bowls, right?
No way.
Or 6 or whatever it was.
No.
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 No. I don't think so. I think
Really?
because I don't want to. No, because I really want to give. I want to give the proper respect to both parties. I want to give and all the people who were in between them and behind them. Belichick was the right man for the job at the right time. Drafted Brady. Brady was the right man at the right time. A lot of people can't deal with Belichick. Belichick's hard to play for. He'll grate on you. He'll wear you down. And after a while, now it didn't get to Tom Brady until he was in his 40s, Vinny. Some people, Aaron Rodgers ain't trying to hear Bill Belichick say, "You the worst effing quarterback in the league" after an MVP season. He ain't trying to he ain't trying to be called out in front of the team when he throws a pick and they're 11-1. It's a special kind of guy.
You don't know about you don't know about the social conditioning. Like, you're looking at Aaron Rodgers as a finished product with the conditions that he operated in. You're looking at Peyton Manning as a finished product. Had they been ingratiated into that product from the beginning of their careers, who knows how they would have assimilated. But your point is taken. My thing with LeSean McCoy is he's looking at Bill Belichick, who's like, let's just say the Michael Jordan of coaching. He didn't call him Clyde Drexler. He called him Harold Miner. You know what I mean? Like, the disrespect. That's
Baby Jordan.
You didn't go and say John Harbaugh. You didn't go and say Mike Tomlin. Oh, he'd be just another good coach. Or Mike Tomlin, really good coach. John Harbaugh, really good coach. You didn't go say that. You went off and said Rex Ryan, who's, wasn't he fired from like 2 jobs? Did he ever get to a Super Bowl? Like,
no.
That level of hate. If you want to say Belichick isn't as great as Tom Brady is great, okay, personal opinion. I don't really parse Bill Walsh from Joe Montana. I don't parse Jimmy Johnson from Troy Aikman. That type of thing. I don't truly parse that. But that is some, like I said, that is some greasy Crisco, Jermaine Jackson, shiny ass hate.
Hey, Jermaine Jackson. But I want to know why, because this happens a lot, believe it or not. It happens a lot in Boston. Happens a lot in New England, where I know Tom Brady left. So it's a lot of, well, who was it? Was it Brady or was it Belichick? And now when Brady won after he left New England
the
stacked
Patriots, team. On a stacked team.
And the Patriots are life and death. They're trying to make the playoffs, and that'd be an accomplishment. Like, well, Bill Belichick has been exposed because he, look what he is without Tom Brady. And I just wonder, like, does anybody else do this? I don't think they do. I don't think San Antonio right now, post Tim Duncan, post David Robinson and all their championships, look at Popovich and be like, you know what? You wasn't nothing. You wasn't nothing. That was Tim Duncan. That was David Robinson.
I think people do that to Phil Jackson. I do think that people.
I know who did that to Phil Jackson. You know who started doing that to Phil Jackson? And I'm going to say rest in power. But I know what your agenda was. First guy who started doing it, Red Auerbach. Red Auerbach used to do it. You know what his agenda was? Hey, Phil was coming. Phil was coming. Now, he had the record. Red had the record. So Red had to say, well, I was more of an architect. I was a team builder. And, hey, Phil's just he's chasing talent. Well, Red, you did too. You did too. You were able to hold on to talent longer because there was no free agency back in the day. You can just hold on to
I got one currently for you. I definitely have one currently for you. You ready for this one?
Who's that?
I think it's asinine, but I've heard this. Is it Andy Reid or Patrick Mahomes? I've definitely heard that. And you know that you have. That is ridiculous. People find what, it can't just be what we see. It has to be.
Why?
There's another analogy. Okay. There's another analogy I want to use.
Let's hear it.
Man, I can't.
Yeah, you can use it.
Nope. I will tell you during the break because you will laugh and you will say, good thing I did not do it. Trust me. You will laugh, though. Gary Carter will really laugh. But absolutely, the control room will definitely laugh as long as they're not in their feelings. But, you won't see it coming, but you will think. It will be a tongue twister. I'll just say that. It will be a tongue twister. But you hear that with Is it Patrick Mahomes and his otherworldly talent, or is it Andy Reid and Andy Reid's system? And look at what he did with all those other quarterbacks, and now he's got Patrick Mahomes. Could he do this? You've definitely heard that. What I'm a little bit shocked about is somebody like Shady McCoy, who's played for different types of head coaches. Instead of him wishing, hey man, I wish I played for a guy like that. He could have really utilized me. He's over there doubling down on the hateration and the holleration. That's the part that's got me.
Yeah, but there's some guys like that. You know, Vinny, there's some guys, and I think, so there are two things at play. I'm just guessing. There are two things at play. One, from a player angle, and I can understand it if this is his position. Now, Bill Belichick has never come out and said this. He has never come out and said, well, it's not the players, it's me. He's never said that. Now, some people believe that he believes that he can win with anybody. And so if you're an athlete and you put the work in and you've been out there, you've taken the hits, you've been in all those car crashes, and Bill Belichick is just standing over there with his arms folded and never smiling, and he's getting all the credit for his beautiful brain, you can be like, wait a minute. I'm bashing my brains out, and this dude who just kind of draws up plans and then has me go out there, I'm the soldier, he has me going out there, why is he getting credit? So there's some athletes who really resent a cerebral coach getting credit for stuff that they have produced. And if he's coming from that angle,
I got another one for you. I got another football one for you.
All right, let's hear it.
Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson.
Oh, that's active.
Because Russ does right.
That's active
Russ
now.
Russ doesn't look good now. Geno Smith looks really, really good. And, you know, back then, that first Super Bowl, you had Russell Wilson on that rookie contract. You had the Legion of Boom. And basically, everybody was trying to act like we could have done that with any old body back there. And I'm like, nah, not really. Because I remember that next year where Russell Wilson brought them back from a 20-0 deficit against Green Bay. Granted, that onside kick and bad coaching from Mike McCarthy and, you know, all that stuff. But they only made one of those back then. And Russell Wilson isn't what he was. And I think that gives people the license to sort of, lack of a better phrase, you know, crap on, you know, what he did in the past. But I definitely think, that beef is real. That's like Dr. Dre and Suge Knight type of beef. You know what I mean? Is that my, you know, is it your beats or is it my money and my muscle? You know what I mean? Like that sort of thing. So, yeah, I can't believe we're using a Suge Knight, Dr. Dre comparison when talking about Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. But hey, we rock with it.
I believe it.
You probably.
And I know there's another one. And I know you got another one coming. I know you do.
I do have. That was going to be really good. Trust me.
Here's my other option. So the athlete doesn't want the coach to get the credit. I got another one for you.
Okay.
And it's a personality. So we think we're talking about sports, but when somebody gives an opinion like that, they're not just giving it a sports opinion. They're giving a worldview opinion. They're projecting what I would do or what I think. And there are some people out there who think that there's this magical thing that they can do. Like they're in charge of it. So it's not collaborative. It's not, hey, there were some building blocks in place before I came over, before I took over as manager, before I took over as coach, before I got to the situation. There were some good things here, and I just happened to come in at the right time and made it better. No. What they're suggesting is there's just this magical person who is capable of going into any situation, and just by dint of their genius and their hard work, they can make it better. And so that's what LeSean McCoy is saying, that what he's saying about Bill Belichick, you can say about every championship coach ever. There's not a single championship coach, not a single one, not your favorite coach, who is a multiple champion who has done it on his own. Nobody.
Nobody does it on their own, regardless. Nobody.
So what the hell is he talking about? Well, hey, why are we saying, hey, Bill Belichick without Tom Brady? That's right. Yeah, he is blessed. The smartest thing he said was he's blessed to have Tom Brady. Yes, he was. And was
Tom Brady not blessed? Was Tom Brady not blessed to have Bill Belichick?
to be
Because
drafted.
if I remember correctly, you correct me if I'm wrong. Those first two Patriots Super Bowls, the win against the Rams, the win against Carolina and Jake Delhomme.
Yeah.
That wasn't Tom Brady at full apex. That felt like
Carolina
Patriots
was
defense. That felt like a really good Tom
Carolina,
Brady game.
he was doing that thing.
No, that felt like a really good Tom Brady
you're
game.
right, no one.
But it did not. It did not feel like Tom Brady at maximum. I felt like by that Philly Super Bowl, that was Tom Brady.
Yeah.
But I felt like those first two was definitely the defense and Tom Brady making enough plays down the stretch and being able to take over, not him taking over because that's what you expect from him.
I will say this. In those first, they won the last team that went back-to-back championships. In those years, regular season, 28-4 combined. Those 2 years, 28-4. You know what they had both years? Number one defense football.
Mm-hmm.
Number one. So to your point, it's not just Tom Brady. It was a lot of things going on. But yeah, most coaches who win championships, if they got any brains, they said, damn, I wouldn't be here if not for insert great player, if not for Michael Jordan, if not for Shaq and Kobe, if not for LeBron, if not for Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, I wouldn't be in this situation. And McCoy, last thing I'll say on him is, he was like, oh, that's bullcrap to say we never seen this before. Hey, LeSean, have you ever seen a coach win 6 Super Bowls?
Never.
Coach? You haven't. So we haven't seen it before. So people don't hate that you're talking about Belichick. They hate that you're inaccurate. Anyway, I want the music to play right now. Not because the music necessarily needs to play, but I need to hear what you are about to say. And then we're going to hear from Tom Haberstroh. Tom Haberstroh's coming up, but you got some stuff.
I do.
Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.